Hey there, comic book friends. I'm Travis, and this is another edition of What the Fugue, where I talk about what's going on with me and my world of comic books for the week. Not tons going on in the whole news thing, really, or at least not that I've paid that close attention to that seems to affect me in any way. They released the Eisner nominees a couple days ago. Should go check those out. You know, see where your books stack up in the whole Eisner Award thing. If you take any real stock in awards type things. I don't know that the Eisners suffer from the same sort of award stuff that like the Oscars and all, you know, and Grammys and all that kind of stuff falls under, but I'm sure there's a certain amount of who knows who drama that goes in along with that. But cool to see some of the people that are nominated for a lot of those categories. There were some, you know, in some of the big categories like, you know, best artist and that sort of thing. It was interesting to see like Becky Cool in the nomination for The Mire and her work on Conan and stuff like that. I think that's all pretty, you know, really cool. I actually own most of those books and whatnot. I just mentioned her name because I don't think she's somebody that most people would just go, oh yeah, you know, definitely her, you know, because she's not in the same limelight that, like, you know, the Greg Capullos and David Finches and you know, those sorts of people are. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, she got a nomination. You know, Chris Samney, J.H. Williams. You know, so those people got lots of, you know, nominations and whatnot, which is really cool. All extremely talented people. Pretty exciting stuff. You know, for what it is. It's always, for me anyway, it's interesting to see which of the nominations and which of those books I've read over the years and which ones I haven't. And I guess I do kind of use it as a litmus test to, should I be checking out some of those other books if they got a nod, if they got some sort of recognition, then it's probably something that I should, you know, possibly check out. So there is that. Otherwise, I can't think of any other real news about this week that's particularly gripping or exciting. My own personal things I have going on as far as my comic book collecting and whatnot. As a lot of you know, a while ago I changed my my mailing subscription of my comics through Discount Comic Book Service. I changed it from every 2 weeks to weekly, hoping that I would get my books soon enough that then I could actually read them, have them in hand for like the you know, Friday or Saturday Comic Talk podcast and plus whatever everybody else is talking about. So I can talk the current comics instead of 2 weeks behind from everybody else. But it hasn't really worked out exactly that way. For me, Comic Book Day is on Tuesday. The books that released like today, as I'm filming this on Wednesday, I'll actually get my books on next Tuesday. A lot of that has to do with the fact, as I've mentioned before, is how much it weighs. If it weighs over 3 pounds, basically they give it to FedEx, and FedEx takes an entire week to get the comic books to me from their warehouse. If it's under 3 pounds, they send it through the United States Postal Service, and if it's sent through the United States Postal Service, it's sent priority mail, and I get it in 2 days. So, in that whole process, I was doing some weighing of things, and I get all my comics. I pay to have them bagged and board when I get them. Not because it makes the comics more protected, it just was more convenient to already have a bag and a board along with it instead of me having to go and buy bags and boards separately and put them with each of the comics. Because Discount Comic Book Service does an excellent job of sending their books to me safely, whether I get them bagged and board or not. I actually, for the longest time, didn't get them bagged and board. That's another new thing that I was doing for a while. But I weighed a bag and a board together. A bag and a board together weighs 0.08 ounces, right? Okay, so 16 ounces to a pound. So if I run about 15 books a week, which is about average, sometimes a little less than that, sometimes, you know, considerably more than that, that's almost a pound. It's about 12 ounces of just bags and boards. So I'm thinking if I drop getting bags and boards through them, because I can pick those up at the local chain store, or, you know, go on Amazon or something and buy them in bulk and buy them by 1,000 or something, so I just have a whole bunch on hand. If I do it that way, that should put me under 3 pounds, because I run about 3, 0.5, not 3.5, but like 3.1 pounds is lots of times what my package weighs. So if I do that, take the bags and boards out, I should be able to get most of my comics, in theory, will be under 3 pounds, and I should get them within the same week at least. So that's my new plan. It's actually going to be, that won't take effect. I just did my comic book order earlier in the week, and that's for books 2 months from now. So it's going to be a while before that actually happens. So I will let you all know when it gets to that point how that actually works out for me, and if that's going to work or not. See if I can get those books a little earlier. My only other choice to get the books earlier is to not read so many books. I don't think that's going to happen. My comic book reading has actually gotten a lot worse. I'm going to have to start making some decisions here pretty soon on some of the mediocre books I've got. Some mediocre books I'm just going to keep collecting because I like the characters. And so for me, the book isn't quite so mediocre. I mean, if I wanted to look at it seriously and critically, I have quite a few books that I read that are but I like the characters are fun or whatever, and so it makes it an enjoyable book for me. We all have that way. We all have books that other people look at and go, God, seriously, you like that? How can you like that book? And it's because we like the character or whatever. Whether it's, award-winning writing and the best art in the world, who cares kind of thing. So yeah. That's that as far as, when maybe I'll start getting my books. But like I said, that'll be a while, month or two, before I start getting my books that way. Because I ordered them so far in advance. Trying to think if there's anything just really incredible. As far as on the horizon of books that I haven't already kind of talked about at other times, I don't think there is. That there's anything that I've just picked up and ordered that is really brand new. Of course, brand new stuff coming out now I haven't heard anybody talking about yet, but we'll see if anybody gets some of those books. If they don't, I'll get mine. I'll talk about them next week. I've already read all of my books for this week. I got my books yesterday, and within a little over a 24-hour period, I've actually read all of my books, which is new for me. Normally, I'm reading my books clear up and into Friday and Saturday when I go and do the reviews on Saturday and Friday. For my no capes or whatever. So that's kind of new for me, which is actually good though. I've got some trades I'm still catching up on. I got some Hellboy trades I'm going to catch up on. Then once I'm done with that, then when I have free time to read books, I think that I'm going to give potentially a thorough reading all the way through either the first volume of Doom Patrol. I'm still missing some books from that, so maybe I won't do that one yet. But I'm going to start rereading the second volume of Doom Patrol, which, like 19 issues in is when Grant Morrison's run start, that most people are familiar with it at least, and read that whole thing through. And who knows, maybe I'll do talk about that as I am reading it, kind of give you updates as I read an arc or every so many issues or whatever, what I think of it. I've read most of those. There actually are a few in there that I haven't read, that I've picked up and I just haven't gotten around to reading. So it'll be interesting to read those few issues from some of the early stuff and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's it as far as what's going on with me in my little world of comics. Comic Block Podcast is this Friday. It sounds like we're going to have a special guest on. Artist Kevin Millen is going to be on. You can Google him if you want to. I think currently he's doing, he did American Muscle is the name of the comic book. There was a creator-owned, Image Comics had a creator-owned comic. It was called Creator-Owned or something like that, which I think was not a real great name for the book, but whatever. And Jimmy Pomaloni and Justin Gray were writing one story in it with Phil Noto doing the art, and then the other half of the book, it had a story that was called American Muscle, I believe, and Steve Niles was writing it, and Kevin was doing the artwork on that. I think he also does like some storyboards for that Archer TV show, adult cartoon that's on FX. I haven't, tell you, I haven't watched it. I think he's the artist also for, there was an Image comic book about MMA fighting, written by Blair Butler, I believe her name is, and he did the artwork for that, I think, too. So that'd be cool if he makes it. Last I heard, that was the plan, that he was going to be there. So hopefully we'll get to talk to him and see what's going on in his world, and get to talk to somebody who's actually in the craft, getting paid, doing the work. So that'll be cool. If you're wanting to jump on that podcast, I don't know how busy it's going to be or whatnot. Just hit up Phil, hit up the Captain Cummings. Catch him on Twitter under Comic Talk Podcast. No T on the end of it. Hit him up there, or hit him up on his YouTube channel and whatnot. Speaking of YouTube channels, I usually don't pimp too many people's YouTube channels, because I always feel bad because I can't pimp everybody's. I mean, I would be here for an hour talking about all the people's videos that I watch and stuff. But I will pimp one right now, because he's a really good friend of mine, Eric from Long Box Review, and so the name of the channel is Long Box Review, is the name of the YouTube channel. You should check him out. He's not getting lots of views on his videos. I think he's as long-winded as I am when it comes to like doing reviews and stuff like that. But he has extremely intelligent reviews. And I don't just say that because he's my friend. He really has got some good thoughts as to why he likes the books that he likes, and what isn't working for a book that he's reading and stuff. And does a great job of that. And so I encourage everybody to go check him out, subscribe to him, give him lots of views so we can make him hang around. He's more, in the past, has been more of a blogger and a podcaster as far as just doing sound. And I've done some of those with him. So if you've ever heard me pushing the podcast before, he's the guy that I podcast with on occasion. Probably should do more of that, but we don't always find the time together to do that. But anyway, check him out. And I think that's it for this week. And I'll catch you later on in the week with on the Comic Pod Podcast and No Capes and Monster Comics Reviews. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.